Welcome guys, let's continue with Bhagavad-Gita, the highest knowledge for all human beings. So just wanna let you know, like, everything is linked. So if you're watching, just don't watch this video, you have to watch from the first chapter. And I have also posted another Gita version, so if you're curious to know more about the introduction, like what's the link between the characters and some other kind of information. So it's all linked. So try to watch from the beginning. So let's continue. Certainly Duryodhana was also there. Other warriors were also there. Why did he not feel sad? They were also people full of affection. There were also people full of violence. But they did not feel sad. There is a reason for that. Violence can also be blind and without thoughts, meaning vichar-heen. Affection can also be blind without thoughts. Violence can also be visual, it can be thoughtful. Affection, motherhood can also be visual and thoughtful. Before I had said that Arjuna's difficulty is that he is not without thoughts. Arjuna has ideas and is thoughtful. And the thought puts one into dilemma. The thoughts have put him in a dilemma. Duryodhana can also see it, but the violence is so blind that Duryodhana will not be able to see that behind this violence of I will kill all those, without whom even violence becomes meaningless. This will not be visible in such a blindness of Duryodhana. Arjuna is not that blind. That's why Arjuna is special at the site of that war. It is special in the sense that his preparation for life is same as that of Duryodhana, but his preparation of mind is different. He has thoughts, doubts in his mind. He can ask, he can raise questions, and he has the basic formula of curiosity in him. And the biggest questions are not the ones we raise about the world. The biggest questions are not who created the world. The biggest questions we ask are not whether God exists or not. The biggest questions are those which arise from the conflict within our own mind. This is the dumb side, I can say, that we are mostly curious about those things. But I know, even those questions are not answered, then you won't have the curiosity. But Bhagavad-Gita has all the answers. But to be able to see the conflict in one's own mind, one needs thought, contemplation and meditation. Arjuna is able to think and see that in the violence that I am going to commit, only those people will die for whom violence can have some meaning. He is not blind and could see that properly. And not being blind is not only able to see his trouble, but also his good fortune. It is appropriate to understand this. He is not blind. This is his suffering. Duryodhana is not in pain. For Duryodhana, war is a pleasure. The war becomes a crisis and suffering for Arjun. This is also a good luck. If he overcomes this suffering, he will be able to reach the state of thoughtless nirvichar, like Krishna. If he overcomes this suffering, he will be able to reach a level where he could surrender to God. If he overcomes this suffering, he will be able to give up his attachment. If this suffering cannot be overcome, then this war will definitely be a severe crisis for him, in which he will become schizophrenic, in which his personality will break into two parts. He will either run away or fight reluctantly with no interest in the war and lose. The battle which is fought reluctantly is bound to be lost, because fighting reluctantly means half the mind is running, half the mind is fighting, and the person who moves in opposite directions within himself, his defeat is certain. Duryodhana will win in this case, fighting with all his heart. Even if he is falling into the well, he is falling with all his heart. Even if he is going in darkness, he is going with all his heart. In fact, only two people can go into darkness with full heart. One who is blind, because it does not make any difference between darkness and light for him. And the second one is who has spiritual light, because the darkness then is where his own existence eradicates the darkness. Because of that, the darkness is eliminated because of the light inside that person. So his own existence. If Arjuna either becomes like Duryodhana, falls down from his level, falls from thought to without thoughts, which are he, because of full confidence, that is in the wrong direction, then he will go to war. Or he becomes like Krishna, from thought to thoughtless, nirvichar, becomes so luminous, fills with the inner self with so much light that he should be able to see from within who dies and who is killed. Be able to see that all that is happening is no more than a dream. Either if we can see such a big truth, we can go to war, or if we see such a big lie, that we will attain happiness only by killing those for whom we are trying to kill. So either Arjuna descends into the lies of Duryodhana, then Arjuna will be relieved, or if he reaches the truth of Krishna, then Arjuna will be relieved. Arjuna is a stress indicator. Nietzsche has said somewhere that a man is a bridge connecting two different worlds. Man is an indication of stress. Either if he becomes an animal, then he can attain happiness, or he becomes God, then he can attain happiness. But with God, it is permanent happiness. Remember, guys, this is not the happiness that you guys have. Like, because you might have experienced when you have happiness, then you should be waiting for the sad part. But as long as there is a man, he cannot attain happiness. Till then, even permanent happiness, which is called Anand, cannot be achieved. Because for Anand, there is no opposite world. For happiness, there is sorrow. But in English, I don't have a word, so I said permanent happiness. Till one can achieve only stretch between happiness and permanent happiness, which is Anand, there may be a lot of anxiety and stress until then. That's why we perform both works in life. After drinking alcohol, we become like animals, and then we get little pleasure. There is still pleasure in sex, going back to being an animal. If you fall down with thoughts, you get some happiness. There is no other reason why alcohol has so much attraction in the world. Alcohol becomes a means of returning us to the animal state. By getting drunk, we become where all animals are. Then we are as carefree as animals, because animals do not worry. No animal goes mad. Only circus animal goes crazy, because the circus animal becomes almost like a human being. Like for animals, I would say the effect is there, but it goes very minute as compared to humans. Those are more into emotion as compared to animals. Like the emotion level is very different. There is emotions in them, but that's like very less level. The man is almost in the condition of a circus animal. No animal goes mad, and any animal does not suffer from such a disease as madness, anxiety, sleeplessness, insomnia. No animal commits suicide. Animals are not capable of committing suicide, that's for sure, because a lot of anxiety must accumulate for a suicide to occur. The interesting thing is that no animal experiences boredom. They never get bored. There is a buffalo. She is grazing on the same grass every day and will continue to graze. She never gets bored. There is no question of getting bored. Being bored requires ideas. For boredom, ideas are needed. Therefore, the more thoughtful a person is, the more bored he will be. The more thought a person has, the more he will be filled with worry. The more thoughtful person among humans can go mad. The more thoughtful a person is, the more likely he is to become insane. But this is just one aspect. The second aspect is that one who overcomes the state of being insane can also become liberated. And one who transcends worry can attain the conscious permanent happiness which is Anand of carelessness. And one who overcomes stress can attain that experience of relaxation, which is available only by resting in God. Arjuna is the symbol of man. Duryodhana symbolizes the animal. Krishna is the symbol of God. There are three symbols on the battlefield. Arjuna is wavering. He wavers between Duryodhana and Krishna. He can get peace of mind. He can be at ease if he becomes Duryodhana or he becomes Krishna. So he has a choice to fall down or to rise up. There are no facilities where Arjuna lives. There is tension while being in the state of Arjuna, meaning being in the middle. It is difficult to live the Arjuna state. His difficulty is that he cannot become like Duryodhana. Being Krishna is incomprehensible for him. And whatever he is, he cannot remain there because it is just a wave in the middle. It cannot stay there. No bridges are meant to build a house. When Akbar built Fatehpur Sikri, he got a sentence written on the bridge he built. That the sentence was, the bridge is just for crossing. The bridge is not for residence. So he built a bridge, so that was the sentence he wrote over there. It is rightly said, whoever builds a residence on the bridge will be in trouble. No matter where you go, whether you become an animal or God, staying man is not destiny. Being a man is a crisis. Man is not the end. Man, if we understand properly, is neither an animal nor God. Neither can he become an animal because he has gone beyond being an animal. But there are possible chances of falling down as well. Nor can he become God for now, because the God stage is still pending to be reached. Last stage meaning ready to be merged in Krishna. Man is merely an existence oscillating between God and animal. We reach both corners several times in 24 hours. In anger, the same person comes closer to the animal. In peace, the same man comes closer to God. We visit hell and heaven many times in 24 hours a day. Many times. In a moment we are in heaven, and in another moment we descend to hell. We repent in hell, then the quest for heaven begins. Unable to gain a foothold in heaven, then one starts reaching hell. But Bhagavad-Gita will give you permanent peace solution. So that's why it's special. It's only which is considered as the master key. And there is a law of tension, that tension always creates attraction in the opposites. Like the pendulum of a clock. One goes to the left, one goes to the left. Then one feels that it is going to the left. But those who understand the science of watches also know that while going to the left, it is just gathering power to go to the right. It is gathering momentum. The farther he goes to the left, the further he goes to the left, the more he is gathering strength to go to the right. Actually, he is going to the left so that he can go to the right. While going to the right, he is going so that he can go to the left. So, it's a kind of pendulum situation. Man is swinging like a pendulum between animal and divine all the time. Arjuna is the symbol of man for all the human beings. So, it's for all humankind. And the symbol of today's man even more. It's not just today, it will stay forever. The consciousness of today's man is exactly the consciousness of Arjuna. That's why both things are together in the world. On the one hand, man is eager to take his consciousness to meditation or samadhi, and on the other hand, man is eager to move towards LSD, to mescaline, to marijuana, to alcohol, to sex, leading towards the animal side. And it will often happen that the same person appears to be doing both these jobs. The same man will visit to India, and the same man will keep taking LSD in America. He is doing both of them simultaneously. So he keeps on switching. If a human becomes unconscious, he can become an animal, but one cannot remain unconscious for long. Even unconscious pleasures can be explained only in consciousness. So I will continue in later video. Thank you guys.